Cancer is terrifying, not because it attacks quickly, because it doesn't. It begins in silence. Deep inside the body, one cell stops following the rules. Then another. Then another. Months pass. Years pass. Nothing feels wrong. Then one day, a scan reveals a shadow. A doctor walks into the room. Everything changes. Cancer has taken kings and farmers. It has ended bloodlines. It has stolen parents from children and children from parents. Today, it is one of the leading causes of death on Earth. And most people assume it is a modern problem. We blame cigarettes. We blame pollution. We blame processed food and chemicals. We imagine cancer as the price of modern life. But what if cancer is much older than cities? What if it is older than farming? What if it is older than our species itself? In 2016, researchers studying fossils from South Africa made a remarkable discovery. They examined a small foot bone belonging to an ancient human relative that lived roughly 1.7 million years ago. The bone showed unmistakable signs of osteosarcoma. Bone cancer, not a fracture, not an infection, a malignant tumor. That means a creature walking across the African landscape nearly 2 million years ago was suffering from the same disease that fills hospitals today. And it wasn't the only case. Scientists also discovered evidence of another tumor in ancient remains from a similar period. Suddenly, a question emerged. If cancer existed nearly 2 million years ago, how far back does it really go? The answer is astonishing. Cancer is not a modern disease. Cancer is ancient. In fact, it may be nearly as old as complex life itself. The challenge is that cancer rarely leaves evidence behind. Most cancers develop in soft tissues such as organs, skin, muscles, and blood. When a body decomposes, those tissues disappear. Fossils preserve bone, not lungs or livers. So the fossil record gives us only a tiny glimpse into the cancers that once existed. Imagine trying to understand an entire book while only being allowed to read a few scattered pages. That is the problem scientists face. Yet despite those limitations, evidence keeps appearing. Researchers have identified tumors in ancient human remains, prehistoric animals, and even dinosaurs. One fossilized dinosaur bone showed signs of a cancer remarkably similar to forms seen in humans today. That discovery changed how scientists viewed the disease. Cancer was not born in hospitals. It was roaming the earth long before the first human city was built. And fossils are only part of the story. Ancient mummies have revealed even more. Unlike skeletons, some mummies preserve soft tissue. Using CT scans and modern imaging technology, researchers have found evidence of tumors in mummified bodies thousands of years old. Ancient Egyptians were encountering cancer long before modern medicine existed. In fact, they wrote about it. One of the oldest known medical texts, the Edwin Smith Papyrus, describes tumors of the breast. The physician who recorded the cases gave a chilling conclusion. There was no treatment. Nearly 4,000 years ago, doctors were already recognizing cancer and struggling against it. The disease had a name long before scientists understood what it was. Around 400 BCE, the Greek physician Hippocrates used the word karkinos, meaning crab. He believed the veins spreading around tumors resembled the legs of a crab clinging to the body. Centuries later, Roman physicians translated the term into Latin. Cancer, the same word we still use today. But why has cancer followed humans for so long? To answer that, we need to understand what cancer really is. At its core, cancer is not an invading organism. It is not a virus. It is not a parasite. It is our own cells turning against us. Every second, billions of cells divide inside the human body. Most divisions happen perfectly. Occasionally, mistakes occur. A piece of DNA is copied incorrectly. A mutation appears. Usually, the body catches the error. Sometimes it doesn't. When enough mutations accumulate, a cell can begin multiplying without control. It ignores the signals that tell normal cells when to stop. That is where cancer begins. And because mutations are a natural part of life, cancer is woven into the biology of every complex organism. Which raises an important question. If cancer has always existed, did ancient humans suffer from it as often as we do today? Surprisingly, the answer is probably no. But not because they were healthier, and not because cancer hadn't evolved yet. The real reason is much simpler. Most ancient humans never lived long enough. That doesn't mean nobody grew old. Some did. Archaeologists have found ancient individuals who reached their 50s, 60s, and even beyond. But they were the exception. Life was dangerous. A broken bone, an infected wound, a bad winter, a predator. Any one of those could end a life long before cancer ever had the chance. Most cancers take decades to develop. Many appear after the age of 50. If someone died at 30 from an infection or a hunting accident, cancer never got the opportunity to emerge. Ancient humans also lived differently. They didn't smoke cigarettes. They weren't exposed to industrial pollution. They ate fewer processed foods. And they spent far more time moving their bodies. Those factors likely reduced certain cancer risks. But they weren't living in a cancer-free world. Smoke from fires filled caves and shelters. Constant sunlight increased the risk of skin damage. Chronic infections and parasites could trigger cancers of their own. Cancer was still there, waiting. The difference is that many ancient humans died from something else first. Today, the situation has changed. Modern medicine has helped millions survive dangers that once killed our ancestors. We defeat infections. We repair injuries. We survive childbirth. We live longer than ever before. And that longer lifespan gives cancer more time to appear. In a strange way, cancer has become more visible because humanity has become better at surviving everything else. And yet, one fact remains astonishing. A disease that fills hospitals today was already stalking our ancestors nearly 2 million years ago. A tumor growing inside a creature that lived before cities, before farming, before written language, before history itself. Cancer was there. It survived ice ages. It survived extinctions. It followed humanity through every chapter of our story. For millions of years, our ancestors could do little more than endure it. Today, for the first time, we can fight back. And the more we learn about cancer's ancient past, the better our chances of defeating it in the future. If you enjoyed this journey into the deep past, subscribe for more stories about ancient humans, evolution, and the hidden history of our species. Thanks for watching.